Hello and welcome back to the Unnamed Political Podcast. In this week's episode, we're going to be discussing the recent presidential debates between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and Tim Kaine and Mike Pence. Alright, and welcome back to the Unnamed Political Podcast. I'm your host, Clark Walburger.
And I'm Jack Horvath.
Alright, so unfortunately we have limited battery life and storage on this camera, so we got to get right to it. Last week there was a debate between presidential candidates Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Now this particular debate has been discussed massively in the media, and now that you've been able to get the mainstream or the lamestream media's approach to it, you can now get ours, the respected and dignified 16-year-olds filming in their parents' basement.
That's the best form of media in my opinion.
Yes.
The most accurate. So yeah, I mean this debate happened about a week ago, so we're a little late going into it, right? But I mean that's not bad because that just gives us more time to analyze what happened and process our thoughts and whatever.
Yeah,
it was a good debate. It was a good debate. There was a lot of talking points brought up by both candidates. It was very interesting for sure. It was the highest rated debate I believe ever.
Oh yeah, televised. This was getting in Super Bowl numbers of how many people watched it.
Very good.
Although I do think there was unfortunately a clear winner. Or not, unfortunately, depending on
I mean, some of the, I think it was like 12 out of the 14 polls after the debate had Trump winning by large numbers. This is like Breitbart, which I know you could say is a conservative news outlet. It's
the same way that MSNBC
but then Time conducted one having Trump winning by a substantial number. There was another one, it might have been MSNBC, conducted a post-debate poll, but the scientific poll released by CNN, where they put actual effort into it, they're not just saying anyone come pick a number, because I even voted in those instant polls.
Well, yeah, some of these instant polls, anybody could vote. I mean, I participated in Donald Trump's debate preparation. I wish Hillary had offered this, but Trump had a survey where you could fill out what you would like him to discuss in the debate. I filled it out. Yeah, and did he actually do any of those things? Oh yeah, all the time. I was waiting for some more Monica Lewinsky references, but he didn't take all my suggestions.
Well, so I'm joking. So Donald Trump, he failed a little bit, but he's coming up against a very experienced debater, Hillary Clinton. Put a lot of effort. She was a debater in college, just like Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is a pretty good debater. All in all, but he's just very unlikable. It's the person that makes him bad, not his skills and talking.
Well, and I think in this particular debate, we saw that for the first, I know this has been on all the news outlets, but I still think it's accurate. For the first 30 minutes, the beginning of the debate, Trump was in his element. Or not necessarily in his element, but he was in the element that his staff wants.
He was doing pretty good.
He was doing good. He was nailing the issues, and then he just started to go downhill, and he started to fill into every single one of those stereotypes that we ourselves, bear in mind, me and Jack, we're not diehard Trump supporters from the beginning. If you watch our old videos, we really did hate
We really weren't, were we? It took us probably till August to actually hop on the
Back when Jeb was going to get the nomination.
All those time ago.
But I'm going to be honest, this debate was starting to potentially sway me over to Hillary. No, I'm joking. Nothing on earth can sway me towards Hillary. The only way on earth I would ever vote for her is if Trump kills somebody, and even then, because let me be clear, Hillary is by far the worst candidate we have had for president. She would be one of our worst presidents, I personally.
She would not last 4 years if she got elected. Well, she would last 4 years, but she would not get reelected, is the point. She would be very unpopular.
And this isn't just, I totally agree, and this isn't just right-wing rhetoric. Yeah. I truly do believe that she would hurt the United States image abroad. I truly believe that her policies would not benefit our country. And the only reason is she might be the lesser of two evils, but the vice presidential debate that we will talk about in our next episode, that really swayed me back to Trump.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first debate, I agree with you, the first third of it was very strong. Trump came out nailing the ideas, getting his points in. And then the second half, he kind of started interrupting Hillary and appearing very unpresidential, which is you need to appear presidential, obviously.
And then his line, "My temperament is the best." Yeah, no. That was,
you can't gloat that much. You can't brag and,
You can't do something that, because his entire image is that he has a bad temperament. That is the Trump brand, is his lack of a temperament. So you can't attempt to build something off of that. I thought that was a very bad decision on his part.
And then I just noticed you could claim that I'm some right-wing crazy guy when I claim that there's some sort of bias in this interview, but Lester Holt, who is a registered Republican, don't get me wrong, but they asked questions. There was, I'd say, an equal amount of scandal on both these candidates, maybe one more than the other, but still, there was apparently only 2 questions asked about Hillary Clinton's, personal scandals, and there was 15 questions asked about Donald Trump's.
Well, I think I'll say this. I think in the past couple of weeks, there has been a massive media push where people realized in early September, when he was for a very brief time leading in the majority of polls, 538 had him winning.
Yeah.
They're like, holy crap, he could win, and they are just starting nonstop scorched earth policy against him ever having a chance. And I think that does have an impact. But I don't think it's entirely. I think even just with polling data, and because of that performance, I was discussing this with some other people, Hillary right now probably has a dozen paths that can lead to the White House, but Trump only really has one. When you look at like the electoral map and things like that,
which I think should be
everything has to fall into place for Trump. Not everything has to fall into place for Hillary.
Yeah. I mean, the electoral map after I think Trump's probably down by 3 or 4 points right now, and where he was up, I'd say, by 1 or 2, probably 3 weeks ago, maybe in that range. So he's definitely took a fall a bit, and I think most of it's definitely because of this debate and just the onslaught that has come after that, for sure. So yeah, it was very, very bad week this week for Trump in particular.
I think, because I think it's just he started off the week poorly with the debate, and then more and more things coming out, the tax returns being released.
That was a huge dent.
I think that it's just hard because now we're seeing there's been so much emphasis on it, and the one kind of glimmer of hope for the Trump candidacy was Julian Assange's claims that there was going to be some election-changing surprise released in October, and after a roughly 3-hour press conference, no new releases about Hillary Clinton, and nothing that changes the campaign at all.
For sure, yeah, it's definitely been. I was really hoping that would be something, but it was nothing.
Well, no,
I was played.
If it was going to be something, I do believe that Hillary would have been panicking at this point. She would have, if she knew what he was going to release, she would have already tried to release something to get out on top of it and try to lessen the impact that it would have.
There's some reports saying that Hillary Clinton was asking in the conference room, like, "Can I drone this guy?" I'm not even joking.
Oh no,
like, that would be something legitimate. I could see her saying,
that,
"I know."
If there is audio of that would be amazing fodder for the Trump candidacy, because that completely feeds into the and I'm the one with the bad temperament.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you.
How are we on time? Okay, we can talk about this for about 1 more minute, and then we have to move on to the vice presidential debate.
All right, sounds good.
But overall, I think that overall Hillary did not give a great performance.
No.
But she didn't need to give a great performance. All she needed to do, and all she needs to do in this election, is not be as bad as Trump to the majority of voters.
And just get your points across, make them sound, make them good.
Well,
just act normal, act yourself.
She needs to have her points be good. I didn't think she acted normal. You saw her little...
Well, I said the key is to be yourself in these elections. Except for Trump.
Oh, no. Of course, Trump's the only one who's being himself, and look where that's gotten him.
Exactly. You gotta act presidential.
No, yeah. Hillary's entire candidacy is determined by a focus group. Every single thing she's done. And just an interesting side note, I noticed this. In the debates, the Republicans and Democrats seem to have switched colors. Trump wore a blue tie, Hillary wore a red suit.
That's true, I noticed
Pence wore a blue tie.
I noticed that too. I was like, what's going on here? Yeah, it's weird.
I think it really is, though, that Hillary wants to seem more aggressive and more assertive, and Trump has been told, you gotta ease up. Yeah. You gotta do that kind of shimmy over to the middle now that you've gotten the nomination. You gotta try to win over some moderates.
General election pivot.
Yeah.
That's true, exactly.
All right, and speaking of pivoting, we have to pivot over to the vice presidential debate.
That was good.
Yes.
Good transition.
So, recently, last night, actually, we observed the vice presidential debate between Mike Pence and Tim Kaine.
Correct.
And this one had a much more decisive winner, in my opinion.
Much more decisive.
Mike Pence, by far, gave a stronger performance. He did better. I think what happened was Tim Kaine started off, came in a little bit too hot, and then spent the rest of the night trying to regain dominance of the debate, and just came across as weak and immature, and just not vice presidential material, which unfortunately hurts the Hillary brand for Hillary supporters.
Yeah, I mean, going in, I was thinking, Tim Kaine sounds kind of like a normal guy. I've had him winning. Just not after the debate, but just before the debate actually happened.
Oh, not to gloat. I did think Pence was going to pull out.
I did not. I thought Pence just seems like that. It doesn't matter. And so Pence, I just did not see this. I mean, he's a decent vice president pick, but there was definitely better people you could have chosen.
Who could you have picked?
I thought you could have picked Newt Gingrich, but I mean, you could see that as an unpopular option.
Extremely unpopular.
Or you could choose the general, but then you could say, oh, well, he doesn't have good foreign policy experience.
No, are you kidding? General would have had the best.
I mean, not foreign policy, but just experience in politics.
In domestic would definitely be the hard hitter.
Or you could put in, what was the guy, Senator Jeff Sessions, the guy from Oklahoma. You could put him in. He would have been solid, but the Southern senators, I just don't like, and I don't agree with them on a lot of stuff, especially because there's just extreme social conservatism.
or not, alt-right is now coming to this big thing, which is, I'm assuming the Twitter right is what I've been...
It's like, the Gavin McInnes, the rebel sort of stuff, yeah. Those crazy
The Canucks?
guys. Yeah, like Alex Jones, kind of.
Oh no, Alex Jones
is alt-right.
No, he hates liberals and conservatives. He hates everybody because they're all working for the wizard aliens who are taking over this country.
Reptiles, yeah.
Yes.
Lizard people.
But
that's sidetracked.
Yeah, so back to the debate. I thought that Mike Pence gave, by no means the performance of his life or anything. It might have been, but, because in all honesty, these debates don't matter and are probably the highest these guys are ever going to rise to prominence unless,
president.
Please, something happens to the two of those candidates, which we would mourn so tearfully.
Yeah. So yeah, that's life. Mike Pence was pretty good.
I thought he was good. He was able to stay calm, stay mature. He was really able to deflect a lot of the stuff because Tim Kaine just came in too hot, too aggressive without being an aggressive person. Like if Trump is aggressive, that goes with his brand. That's what you assume. But when Tim Kaine is aggressive, he's not the type of person you expect to be. Most people, 40% of Americans can't even name the guy. Nobody can even recognize the guy. And when you see him, he's been described by virtually all media sources as just a stereotypical white guy. You don't expect this stepdad-esque figure to come in and really just try to start interrupting all the time. And it doesn't give off the impression of assertiveness or anything. It just gives off the impression of weakness and just trying too hard.
Yeah, he definitely did. What set him and Tim Kaine apart was the fact that Tim Kaine was definitely very aggressive. He interrupted him frequently during the debate, which is one of the trademarks and the defining highlights of this debate was that it was very they didn't really respect each other's period of talk.
And I think though the other thing is like Trump did the same thing. Like we can't ignore that. We have to address we are tilted towards the right, but we aren't going to be Fox. We will be fair and balanced. But I think that Trump did it too, but again, that goes with the Trump brand. You expect it. It doesn't shock you anymore. It's like whenever Trump says something outrageous, it just happens so much, it doesn't hurt him as much.
Right. When Tim Kaine gets super aggressive, and you're like, oh, this guy, you've never really heard of him before, you get the impression of him as, wow, this guy's a little, off the rocker.
He hasn't earned that respect with us yet.
Yeah, he hasn't earned anything.
I think that really hurt him. And I think that Mike Pence, that really helped swing him back because... Yeah. The number one thing for me personally, or I suppose the number two things, but really number one is the economy. Yeah. And Hillary's economic plan just isn't, in my mind, a good economic plan. It is a poor idea that will hurt the country. And no matter how much I dislike Trump, his economic plan is not the best, but it is better than Hillary's.
Definitely better, because I looked at it and you can definitely point out the rights and wrongs for sure. Yeah. I agree.
I thought, but that was one of the few things, if we want to go back to the other debate, Trump, he spent way too much time talking about our jobs are going away. And
they're being taken,
he didn't talk about
how to get them back.
Because it would have been, like, the argument is very simple. It's if you put a tax on success, people aren't going to be trying to, people aren't going to do that. Unfortunately, Adam Scott was right. People are inherently greedy. People are going to do what they can. You just kind of have to deal with that reality. We don't live in a communist utopia. Nobody's going to be saying, oh yes, my goal is to be as successful as I can so I can benefit the community and the proletariat will no longer have to suffer. Yeah. Imagine a hammer or sickle in my hand there. But we don't exist in that reality, and if you are making it too expensive to be successful in America, people are not going to want to have companies and corporations set up in America. There's just no point. Yeah. And we have seen that. But so with the debate, so do you think that either of them are election deciders?
No, because this is the early months of the late months of September, the late days of September, early days of October. So because when I look at the 538 graph, right, it tracks the poll numbers through the months.
The snakes or the standard?
The snakes.
Have you seen the snake graph where it's the states?
No, okay, that one. So it's just like a graph of their poll numbers, right, nationally. So it takes about a month, and they switch. They go like first it's like this, and then it goes like this,
and then they came back out.
Right. So I think it's eventually going to come back up, pretty much towards election day, in Trump's favor. And I don't know if he's going to win, but it's surely going to be a dead heat going in.
Do you want to try to call the election right now?
No, and technically, didn't we call the elections like a couple episodes ago by accident? I said, oh, Hillary's probably going to win. But it's honestly, it's too close to call.
No, we called the Democratic primary. Okay. Right. But unfortunately...
It's too close to call.
Currently, I would say the answer is the same as ours during the Democratic primary. Hillary does have a solid lead in the polls, and the scandals are just piling out of Trump because the media is terrified. The left cannot live with themselves if Trump wins, which is why I really do for the first 48 hours after, if there was a Trump election, if he gets elected, would be just the
worst. I would not watch TV.
No, my gosh, I would not be. I couldn't look away. It would be amazing to see.
Just the
in that kind
breakdown.
of just in that in the same way that you can't, the sick pleasure people get from just watching things totally collapse and fall apart. Yeah, as Teddy Roosevelt said, comedy is tragedy happening to somebody else.
Wow.
So that would just be entertaining after so many months of no, Trump can't win. No, our country would never vote for Trump. To then just the shock and awe of he's going to be president.
I like that. Very well put. That's a good comparison. Good analogy.
Definitely not the most mature hope, but
it works.
Yeah, definitely the most entertaining in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, any final remarks?
I think we covered all the topics today. We talked about both debates in pretty good detail. We talked about who won, who lost. That's good.
We have another debate coming up this Sunday, I believe.
We do. Yeah.
And we will try to get you an analysis on that as soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
Unfortunately, due to scheduling, things just haven't been
difficult. Which is a pain in the butt, which is why we spent a week. We waited until a week after the presidential debate.
Waited.
Whatever.
It's just
busy folk over here.
Yep. But we will continue to give you our unnamed political opinions as best we can. We hope you enjoyed. I'm Clark Walburger.
I'm Jack Horvath.
See you next time.
Adios.
We should have a better tagline at the end, I think.
What's your saying?
Well, because we said see you next time. Adios.
Au revoir.
Yeah, auf Wiedersehen.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's good. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Ciao.
Yao Ming. Chairman Mao.
Ooh, that's good. Good night and good luck. Or something. We should come up with something.
I'll write something.
Leave your answers in the comments below. What should our closing tagline be?
Yeah, people still leave the comments.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all of our commenter.
All of our commenter or no comment.
Yes. If you give us a good enough suggestion, we'll have Chairman Mao read it in the next episode.
Imagine if he came back.
Oh yeah. One day. One glorious day.
Yeah, in the far future.
Okay. Alright. So, I'm Clark Walburger.
I'm Jack Horvath.
See you next time.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. And see you.